Hello and welcome to ICI Podcast. Today we are jumping into Revelation 9. As we discussed last week in Revelation 8, that what we have discovered is the seven trumpets are a historical journey, just like the seven churches and the seven seals. It's no different, and it covers specific time periods. There are endless, it would seem, interpretations that are debatable. This one seems to fit most closely to the time periods that are covered in these two trumpets, or the first and second woes that we're about to discuss. So let's just jump into the fifth trumpet, and I'll be reading these straight. I'll just read this straight and commentating as I go along. And if you do have any questions, this is live, so you can drop them in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them as I go along. So, and this is all what John is seeing. So the fifth angel sounded his trumpet, and I saw a star that had fallen from the sky to the earth, and the star was given the key to the shaft of the abyss. And this star, we discussed about it in Revelation 8, and it's Satan who was cast out of heaven, and this is referenced in Revelation 12. And what John was saying didn't occur just then. It was something that had already happened. And when he opened the abyss, or it's the bottomless pit, depending on what version you're reading it from, which is the realm of Satan and his demons, smoke rose from it like smoke from a gigantic furnace. And the sun and the sky were darkened by the smoke from this abyss, this bottomless pit. And this darkening of this smoke refers to false teachings, an obscuring of truth, spiritual darkness. It was a time of spiritual darkness. And out of the smoke, locusts came down on the earth and were given power like that of the scorpions of the earth. So, if you know anything about locusts, they swarm and they gobble up, eat anything that's edible to eat that's in their path. And this is exactly what these creatures are doing. They're, gobbling up everything in their path. And they were told, and this is symbolic language, they were told not to harm the grass of the earth or any plant or tree, but only those people. So the grass of the earth or any plant or tree is talking about God's people, but the locust could only hurt those people who did not have the seal of God in their foreheads. So notice this is not a judgment on God's people, but a judgment on those who have fallen into apostasy. So they were not allowed to kill them, but only to torture them for 5 months. And the agony they suffered was like that of the sting of a scorpion when it strikes. So during those days, people will seek death, but will not find it. They will long to live, but death will elude them. The locusts looked like horses prepared for a battle. And this is John trying to tell you about what it was he's seeing. On their heads, they wore something like crowns of gold. Their faces resembled human faces. Their hair was like women's hair, and their teeth was like lion's teeth. So they had long hair. And they had breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like the thundering of many horses and chariots rushing into battle. They had tails with stingers like scorpions, and in their tails they had power to torment people for 5 months, which is a prophetic time period. Excuse me. They had as a king over them the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and in Greek it's Apollyon, which means the destroyer, which is Satan himself. This is the end of the fifth trumpet. So I've read through that in the first woe, which there are, as I said, a few interpretations that can be debated, but it fits perfectly with the aggressive expansion of Islam, which swallowed up mostly Christian territory. And it's in fitting with the prophetic 5-month time period, which equals 150 years. You can find that in Numbers and Ezekiel, how to determine that time period, which is could be from 1299 to 1449, where these Islamic armies they were Arabic armies that united. They just swept through a lot of Eastern Europe and caused, they just gobbled up all this Christian territory. So this is the first woe that's passed. This is verse 12. 2 other woes are yet to come. The 6th trumpet is in fact a continuation of the 5th trumpet. So it's just more of these Islamic hordes. The 6th trumpet sounded his trumpet. The 6th angel sounded his trumpet, and I heard a voice coming from the 4 horns of the golden altar that is before God. And it said to the 6th angel who had the trumpet, "Release the 4 angels who were bound at the great river Euphrates." Now, the Euphrates River was central to the Ottoman Empire in this time period that we're discussing, and it was essential for its all of its growth, its economic growth. And the 4 angels who had been kept ready for this very hour, day, month, and year, so this specific time period, were released to kill. At this point in time, before they couldn't kill mankind, but in the 5th trumpet, they couldn't harm them. They could only torture them. In the 6th trumpet, they can now kill a third. These again are prophetic numbers. So the number of the mounted troops were twice 10,000 times 10,000. I heard their number. So this is more than likely a symbolic number as well, because if you add that up, that's 200 million. But if you do a research on the Ottoman armies during that time period, you find that they were massive armies. So the horses and the riders, verse 17, I saw in my vision, looked like this. Their breastplates were fiery red, dark blue, and yellow as silver. The heads of the horses resembled the heads of lions, and out of their mouth came fire, smoke, and sulfur. A third of mankind was killed by 3 plagues of fire, smoke, and sulfur that came out of their mouths. The power of the horses were in their mouths and in their tails, for their tails were like snakes having heads with which they could inflict injury. The rest of mankind was not killed by these plagues, still did not repent of the works of their hands. They did not stop worshiping demons and idols of gold, silver, bronze, stone, and wood, and idols that could not see, hear, or walk. Nor did they repent of their murders, their magic arts, their sexual immorality, or their thefts. So it's saying that there were still vast amounts of people, after they did their damage, these Islamic hordes, Islamic armies. It did not turn away the people from their apostasy, from their idolatry, from their spiritual malaise. That it didn't make any difference. So, and this is referring to it. So I've read through the 6th trumpet now, and this is, and it coincides exactly with the destruction of the Ottoman Empire in 1840. So that is the 5th and 6th trumpet, the 1st and 2nd woe. The next we'll be discussing, next Friday, we'll discuss Revelation 10. And it's going to be around 11-ish that I will do this live. And you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you next Friday.